Hey FlossTube, how you doing? It's Jules. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming along. What day is it? It is November 30th. Tomorrow's December 1st. Can hardly believe it. We're already at the end of the year. It's holiday time. My mom comes in a week, and I'm super excited about that. So there's a lot going on. It's been a crazy busy week. I made some good progress on some projects, not so much in others, but it's been, I think it's always a good week stitching. As long as you can get some stitching in, it's always a good week. Show you my cross stitch t-shirt. Eat, sleep, cross stitch. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. Oh my gosh, so much going on. I want to thank you guys, those of you who have checked out. I have a new blog, for those of you who haven't seen it. So there's a blog, it's called stitchingjules.com, and mostly what I do on there is just sort of detail my progress on my bigger pieces and some of my smaller pieces, and it's just kind of a fun way to document some of these extremely large, and really they're just extremely long cross-stitch projects, and so it's a lot of fun, and I've had some people interacting with me over there, and that's a blast. And if there's anything that you want to see over there that I haven't done so far, just let me know. It'd be great. It's kind of fun just to play around with it and just see what I can do. My husband and I are starting up a honey website for the honey business, quote quote business, small little thing we're starting out. And we got some good news and some bad news with that. Well, first of all, we did get our domain name for our website, but I don't have anything up yet, so I'm not gonna release that. But bad news is that we did have a hive die, the one that's separate from all the others that we have over on the west side of Denver, another hive death, and not 100% sure. We think it might be mites. It is somewhat common to have that happen, so I still need to get a sample and take a look and take a look under the microscope and kind of see if I see some mites, but that's what's coming up there. But it does make the moving of the hive easier. We were going to move the hive in the springtime, and we were a little apprehensive about doing it. If there were thousands of bees inside of the hive, it was going to be a little tricky, but now it's not, obviously, so we can move it anytime. And then but the bit of good news is that I have a friend who has a plot of land that's a lot closer to us, and they have offered us to, if we want to expand our operations and put more hives on their land, they've offered that to us. So that's pretty cool. We're still trying to keep everything in check because we just, we're getting into our third year of beekeeping, and so we just want to kind of keep things sort of, not expand too crazy yet. So the quality of the honey this past year was absolutely fantastic. And that's the most important thing outside of taking care of the bees. Taking care of the bees is number one, and then the honey quality would be number two. So, so stuff's going on there. But other than that, everything has just been crazy. We're doing a big cleanup of the whole house in anticipation of the mom coming, and so that's kind of what I've been doing. But what else got going on? I do have some finishes. I do have a finish. You guys see that I have the God Save the Queen up here, and I still need to get that framed. That is the theme of the week, things that I need to get framed. I'm going to show you, I did finish Prayer of St. Francis, and I did a not marathon session because I didn't have that much left to do, but here you go. Whoop. There we go. So Lizzy Kate, Prayer of St. Francis, and it came out awesome. I love it. It's just, Lizzy Kate does not do bad work at all. Not at all. So I hope you guys like that. It was fun to stitch. I would highly encourage anybody to stitch this up if you can. And of course you can see how I got it off center. I always get everything off center. That's my thing. It's my thing. The next one I'm going to start on hers is the I can't do everything, but I can do something. I was looking for the pattern this morning before I did my video, and I couldn't find it. But this is the fabric, some more linen. I actually got like 3 stitches done. I thought about doing this for the stitch along this past week, but I couldn't get I was just having so many problems getting the lighting set up and getting the camera set up so you guys could get a close-up of the stitching. And it's harder than it looks for somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And that would be me. So I need to work a little harder on that, but that is coming along. But this is the one that I want to kind of begin new, because I like to have a smaller project along with my bigger projects, 1 or 2 smaller projects. So speaking of which, yeah, let's put this. I have a desk right here, and it is a mess. Thank goodness you can't see the whole thing. Put that right there. All right, speaking of smaller projects, I got some more work done. Not a lot, but some more work done on the dogs leave paw prints on our hearts and drool everywhere else. So I'm getting close to being about halfway done with this. All I got done this week was just get that part done. I want to really work on getting this top border done this next week. It requires some quarter stitches, half stitches, and I thought I didn't have the thread for it, but I do. So now I can actually get started on that and make some progress. I want to show you, I got some more work done on E Pluribus Unum, and I plan on focusing on that one, I think, today a bit. This is what it looks like. Heartstring samplery, which you can find on Etsy. Yeah, let's put it right here, block off whatever those numbers are. We have a board up here just to help me be organized, but that's Heartstring samplery. E Pluribus Unum. So, like we talked about, I think this is when the design was done, is 2015, or is it 2012? 2012. I'm making it 1776, and then BT are the initials of the designer, and so I'm putting in US for United States, and I haven't gotten too much further. I didn't take it out of my hoop, but I got a little farther down, a little farther over here, so it's just, and then of course I got all that in the way, so I just need to sit down with it and kind of stitch. It's like I said, for me having a 4-day weekend last week, I did not get very much done. I talked about it on my stitch along. It was like, I think it was it Saturday felt like a waste? It was Saturday that felt like a waste, because we did a bunch of errands in the morning. Went to the stitching shop. Hey, hi to the guys from the stitching shop, because I walked in and they're like, you do FlossTube videos, and I was like, yeah. So that was pretty funny that they watch now. So hi guys. But we swung over there. I was just going to see what they had and see if there was anything else that I needed. But sometimes when I go over there, I start feeling guilty about not being home stitching. So I'm like, I gotta stitch my project. So I got some thread that I really needed, especially some of the specialty thread to finish up a Prayer of St. Francis and some other things. And it was just good to kind of hang out there and sort of see what they had. But that was fun. But we did that, and we did a bunch more errands. And came home, and my husband went upstairs to take a nap, and I was doing some stuff, and I was like, what is he doing up there? Because he didn't tell me that he was taking a nap. And so I went upstairs, and he was taking a nap, so I was like, oh, I'll just cuddle up with him. And then I slept for like 2.5 hours. So I don't know about you guys, and I've talked about this many floss tubes ago, is that I am incapable, if I don't set my alarm, and if I set my alarm and I have to do something, like if I have to go back to work or something, I can set my alarm for like a 15-minute power nap and feel great and everything's cool. But if I have the day off and I don't have anything to do and I just take a nap, it's like 2 to 3 hours later I get up. I feel like the day is gone. And I'll do that if my body doesn't feel good, like if I feel very foggy-headed, or if my body's very sore from, like if I was working out and my muscles are sore and my body just doesn't feel good. A good nap in the middle of the day will actually really help reset me. But on that particular day, because I woke up at like 5 o'clock, I was just like, oh my God, my day's gone. I had so many plans and my day's gone. So that felt like a waste, and that put me in a little bit of a sour mood for the rest of the night. And that was when I was trying to do my first attempt at my cross stitch, Stitch With Me videos. Oh yeah, and I'm changing the name of my videos. Instead of having stitch alongs or stitch with me, because I wasn't even thinking, because stitch alongs is when, well, I mean, you guys are stitching with me, but we're not stitching the same pattern. So it seems like everybody uses stitch with me. So I'm going to change my stuff to stitch with me, because it's, I don't know, it just sounds better. Anyway, I've, you always have your 4 days off. You feel like you're going to stitch every day, all day, and nah, didn't happen. Didn't happen. I got a lot of stitching done, but that didn't happen. All right, let me show you Ronnie Rowe. We're going to get into some whips, some more whips outside of that. It's getting some bigger projects. So I got some more done on Ronnie Rowe. Whoop, 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 whoop. Here we go. So some more along the side and bottom. I'm just filling in basically at this point, and I'm just working. So, and I think I talked about it in on my Stitch With Me, but as much as I've said that this is probably my last Ronnie Rowe, I can't give up Ronnie Rowe. I can't quit you, Ronnie Rowe. I just can't quit you. But I really want to do something else because I just really like stitching his stuff. So I might get the U.S. Capitol one and work on that. We'll see. But it's kind of crazy. All right, what else we got here? I'm going to show you the football piece. Apropos, I got a little bit done last night. I was working on this. I actually worked on this downstairs next to my husband at the computer desk, which never happens because the dogs never leave me alone. But last night everybody was very quiet and settled in, and so I was able to actually get some work done down there, which was good. I just found a big old stain. Is it a stain? Or is it intentional? One never knows with my stuff. So I got a little bit more done on this football piece. I say football, it's a Saturday Evening Post pattern. Saturday Evening Post pattern. And it is a Thanksgiving, it's like Thanksgiving 1928 or something like that. And it's, this is a pilgrim and there's going to be a football player over here. But I basically just got more. I mean, you can kind of tell and you can't tell, but I filled in a lot up in this area, and then did a little bit more on the bottom here. But kind of have the mojo to kind of work on this again, so which is good because I love this piece. It'd be great if I could miraculously get this done by next year, in next year, but that's probably not going to happen. But one never knows depending upon how hard or easy the pattern is going forward. So we'll see. Where is, I was going to do Rainy Waterloo Place, and, oh, there it is. So, I finished another page on Rainy Waterloo Place, and I wanted to show you guys what this is supposed to look like. So, that's what it's supposed to look like. So, hopefully you guys can see a little bit more why I love this thing so much. So, I've gone all the way across in the top row, and now I'm working all the way down. And basically what's happened is I'm on my last page down here. So when I finish that up, we'll be able to see the dimensions of the piece and the sort of the outline of the piece. And then I think I'll start going back up here and going across or whatever. But anyway, so I got another page done, got hustled to get that, and then started working on yet the next page. So I think I did that. Didn't I do that with the Stitch With Me? All right. And here we go. So, as you can see, this is how big the piece is. But it's 14 count Aida, just to remind you. And stitching 2/1. And you can see kind of where I've gotten here. And then you can see where I've gridded down. This is the very bottom. So, there's a lot to go on this page, but it should go quickly when I actually sit down and work on it. But super excited about that. Making progress every single day. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Every single week. But that's that. And what did I not work on this week? I did not get any further on Apothecary Shop. I did find my Stormtrooper piece. I need to pull that out and start working on it because with Star Wars, I'm all excited about that. But I did work on Old World Map 2, believe it or not. Come here, you. You know what? I'm gonna take it out of the. I still had it in the hoop because I was working on it 2 nights ago. But I love working on this thing. I mean, it's an amazing design, is what it is. Amazing design. So let me just zoom in first to show you. So the number one thing that I got done was I actually gridded the rest of this page, which I didn't have gridded. But I filled in just a lot more through here. I filled in all the stuff up there that I hadn't done. So I'm just working my way down through this area. So it's looking good. Let's look at it far back. Ta-da! Like that. So, that's like 9 pages of cross stitch, guys. That's crazy. That is crazy. It's a beautiful piece, though. And this is one that, like, when I'm working on it and stuff, I like to update it on my blog just because it's kind of neat to follow the progress of that. Oh, man. So those are my whips. I wanted to show you guys the framing stuff because, hey, good news and bad news with Prayer of St. Francis. The great news is I got it done. The bad news, it's still here. I didn't go get it framed this week. I was like, every day I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta iron that, go take it framed. And I didn't do it. And I'm just, oh geez, you know, I mean, it's not gonna get done. It's not gonna be done and back in time for my mom to be here, which is fine. It's not a big deal, it's fine. And in fact, I want to take more in to get framed. They're having a sale at Michael's on framing. And so I thought I would take in some more pieces. So I brought out some more of my finishes that I haven't had framed yet. So I wanted to show you guys a few of those. Now I do have, for those of you who haven't seen this, I do have a finished Ronnie Rowe, believe it or not, that I don't have framed yet, which is just ridiculous. Which one is this? Is this Music Teacher's House? I think this is Music Teacher's House, yeah. So if y'all want Music Teacher's House from Ronnie Rowe, it's beautiful. And I think it's a little smaller than some of his other pieces. I mean, I think there's a bit more stitching with some of his other pieces. I'll see this a little bit further close too. But, I mean, that's just incredible design by him. Ronnie, please do more pen and ink designs. More pen and ink designs. Stop doing the color stuff. Stop doing the commissions. We want our pen and ink designs. Please? Please. Alright. How can we forget Yoda? Although I have forgotten Yoda. I still need to clean it. I'm sorry. Anyway, so here's Yoda. Needs to be ironed, needs to be cleaned. It says do or do not, there is no try. There we go. Man, I love stitching on this one too. That was so much fun. So I have the matching Darth Vader downstairs on the stitchy wall, and I have this one done. And I'd like to do more, but I have yet to find another pattern that looks as good as this one and the Darth Vader one. There are more. There's like a Han Solo, there's Chewbacca, but they're lesser quality. They're just not nearly as good looking. So I'm hoping, and I know at some point they're going to continue to come out, and hopefully I'll start another one at some point. But my that's my wish, at least. I hope I'm going to have a whole wall full of Star Wars stuff. That's my husband's wish, I'll tell you. That's for sure. All right, this is just a plain piece of linen. This is another thing that I need to get done at some point, and I may just frame this one myself. We'll see. It's a little bitty one. She believed she could, so she did. Although it's getting, I was thinking about it as a Christmas present, but I think it's getting too close to Christmas almost to get this framed properly in time and sent to the person who gets it. We'll see. We'll see. Get off my butt and get that done. We'll see. So many things to think about. And there's always this one. I haven't shown this one in forever. Here, get off there. Another Lizzy Kate, housework. Never killed anyone. But why take a chance? So, this was one of my first ones that I ever finished. So, I like it. I like it a lot. I need to get it framed. I think that's it for stuff that I need to get framed and all that. What other stuff is going on? I put a link on my blog this past week that was about, Etsy, linking to Etsy stores where there were smaller designers or smaller shops on Etsy. And in the process, I came across a site that had beautiful art on it. But it was also really super cheap. And the problem with that was I was super excited, and I'll be honest with you, I actually gullibly bought one of their patterns. They were, it was like $3, and I bought one that I thought was beautiful, and I was super excited about it. And then I went over to a stitching shop where I talked to Christine, who's the owner, And I showed it to her, and she said, yeah, you know, that might be counterfeit and or a copyright infringement. And honestly, it had never even occurred to me that that could be the case. Because honestly, I'm a sort of an idealist in the sense of I like to think that people do the right thing the vast majority of the time. I think they do, but in this case, I don't think that they are. And the counterfeits are of, well, alleged counterfeits are of an artist called Frank Morrison. And he does a lot of African American art, and he draws in a kind of a cartoon style. I don't know specifically what it's called, but I love his work. I actually, if there's one good thing about finding this site, was that it led me to more of his artwork, and I got to see just how much I love it. And I would love to cross stitch it, but I don't think that this pattern is going to be cross stitchable. It's going to be stitchable. And the reason why I say that is I didn't even think about this, but Christine had said that, you know, if somebody just copies an image or something from a site or wherever, and then puts it into a cross-stitching program that prints out, you know, all these pages and the colors and all this other stuff. The problem with that is that it's because there's not the original source material, that when you stitch it, it's going to come out kind of blurry. It won't be as crisp. It won't look like artwork like all my other pieces do. And it's large enough that, I mean, that would be such a waste of my time to do that. So I've actually been on the prowl to try to figure out if this is legit or not. Everything says that it's not legit. The patterns are just too cheap, and they're just trying to like sell as much as they can. And the reviews on the page are all like, I love this pattern. I haven't started it yet, but I love this pattern. And they're all kind of like that. And there's like 30 of them that are very similar. And I was incredibly gullible. But, you know, I deal so much in legitimate sites that I just didn't think that that could be a fake one. And that's my fault. But I contacted an art depot that, or an art gallery that shows his stuff. And they suggested that I just contact him. And so I found his information. He's on Facebook. And so later today, I need to reach out to him. I need to see if that, well, I'm sure it's still up, but I need to see if his you know, contact him and see if he has given copyright privileges to those people so that they can do it in cross-stitch form. And if not, then perhaps they can just shut down that site, because that's just not right. It's not right to steal from an artist that is so talented and so gifted. And honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, I would like to buy some of this guy's art. It's not, there's some that's expensive and there's some that's just not. There's some that's like, I saw in certain places that was like under $50. And for as awesome as his work is, anyway, Frank Morrison is his name. So if you guys want to check his stuff out, but anyway, I felt pretty bad about that. And I had said that was also on Saturday, the up and down Saturday day. Something else that happened on Saturday was, I know some of you guys like to hear about my fish and whatnot. I finally got fish for I had this little tiny tank. It's like a vertical tank, and I've had this little tiny tank for months now, set up downstairs without any fish in it. And my husband was kind of like, you need to get fish in this tank. And so I finally went out and got these little, I want to say they're something like enders, live enders or something like that. But they're tiny little, they're like wild guppies is what they are. And they have beautiful coloration. And I was very cautious when I added them to the tank, because it's a new tank, although it's been set up for quite a while. I was just really careful with them because they're so tiny, but I love them. They're so cute. They're so awesome. I think I'm going to get a few more to put in there. But I also got some, I ordered some plants. They came in. I need to put those in the other tank with the betta today. But the big news is that I'm really close to finally putting some coral in the coral tank. Hey, I've only had it for like 7 months now. It's only been set up for like 4 months now. I think it's ready for coral. I'm a very slow mover on this. I'm scared, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't want to kill coral. I just don't. And taking that step forward is, I need to do it, but I'm scared. And so my last step before I buy the corals, I'm just trying to get the temperature of the tank proper. I haven't been been keeping an eye on that. But you have to have the right temperature, and then you have to have the right, it's called specific gravity, which is just like, for a saltwater tank, it's just how much salt in the water. And it has to be a certain level, and I've been hovering at slightly higher levels than I should have, but I've been bringing those down gradually, and it should be good to go. I should be able to do this. And there's an awesome store that's really close that has the most beautiful, tiny, tiny little corals that I can do. And so if I get that done, I'll put a video up on my aquarium channel about that. So, but what else we got going on? Gosh, is that it? Are we done? It's only 25 minutes in. Only. But I don't know what I'm going to do for a stitch along this week. I need to pull out something different, so maybe we'll do Apothecary Shop or Stormtrooper or something along those lines. But I may get that out a little bit earlier, but we'll see. But there's just a lot of stitching to be done, and this afternoon I definitely want to get more done. Like I said, we're still in major clean out mode for the mom's arrival, which is going to be awesome. And other than that, I think we're good. So you guys have a great week. Thank you for watching, especially if you're still here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do an update every week. Usually comes out on Wednesday or Thursday. I hope that the wall still looks good to you guys. I have this up here now. I'd like to be able to put some other cross stitch up here, or maybe over here, or I don't know what, but we'll see how it goes. And but yeah, just let me know if you have any comments or suggestions. Like I said, especially about my blog. Have a great rest of your stitchy week. I hope you got all of your shopping done for Christmas. If you're like me, you didn't, and we'll figure it out. We still have 3 or 4 weeks, right? Sort of, yeah. Anyway, take care. I'll see you soon, and have fun stitching. Happy stitching!